Hello, Alex here, and today we're going to talk about how to load the Pentax 6.7, including a little tip that I've picked up in the last few weeks. Let's get into it. So I was out shooting recently with Patrick from Sprocket Holes, check him out up there, and I let him try out the Pentax 6.7 because he wanted to. And we had a bit of difficulty actually loading the film, and I realized there's a small trick that I've picked up myself in the last few weeks that I didn't articulate to him because it was obvious to me once I realized. So I thought I'd make a quick video about how to load the camera in general, but also pointing out this tip for anyone who doesn't know it. It helps to just make the loading process a bit simpler because the depth of the spool gates on either side of this camera can make it a little bit finicky, especially if you're in a rush. So now we're going to move downstairs to the dining room where I'll show you everything that I want to show you today. Okay, so here's the camera. Let's get into it. So firstly, take note of this little window on the back, which currently reads 120. That indicates that the pressure plate that squeezes against the film in the back of the camera is set for the depth of 120 film. It's thicker, effectively, because of the backing paper attached to it. 220 film doesn't have backing paper, which is why you get twice as many shots in the same width of a roll. But the consequence of that is that you have to make sure that you actually set your pressure plate accordingly. Next, take note of these two little ring tabs on the bottom of the camera. These hold and secure the take-up and film spools inside the camera. To open the back, use your nail and just push down on this little silver tab and it will pop open. Lift open the door and you'll see the inside of the camera here. This is the shutter. Do not mess with that or you could potentially damage the camera. When shooting with 120 film, the film is transported from the film spool across to the take-up spool. You can kind of see this here if I turn the advance lever. So what this means is when you're finished your roll, you have to take it out from here. And then the spool that your film came on needs to be moved over here so you can put the next roll in. To do this, we open this ring tab, turn it, and then pull down. You'll hear it click and it will stay open. If you don't do it properly, it will just come back into place. So we open that. I generally just tilt the spool from up here and pull it out. Now we open the other ring tab. There we go. And now this is where the little trick comes in. And so what I do is I line up the spool, insert the top, and then release this ring pull such that it will catch in. You see that? While this is going down. These gates are actually deeper than the width of the spool. So if you don't, you can actually push the spool in too far and then it can be very difficult to actually kind of pull it back out so that it catches on the ring tab. So now our take-up spool is ready to go for the next roll. So here we're going to load a roll of Lomachrome purple. Take off the bit of tape around the outside. Hold it tight so that we don't let it unravel. And then basically the same idea. We need to get this spool lined up over here. So we load that down, holding it tight, and then release this. And then it just instantly catches. There's no trickery. You don't have to reopen the camera, nothing. It just works. Then we pull the backing paper across. I'll go a bit further. So it's kind of pointing up this way and feed the start of the backing paper into that. I'm just aligning it so that it doesn't crinkle. You want it to be level horizontally so it doesn't kind of bung up on one side and give you a fat roll. So then just pull the advance lever gently. This start arrow doesn't indicate the start of the film, but where you need to align it. So in this particular camera, there are two start arrows, one for 120 film and one for 220 film. Unless you're using 220 film, use the 120 start arrow. So we just advance a little bit at a time until those are aligned. That's that. The last thing to check is our pressure plate. In this particular camera, you push down to the right for 220 and push down to the left for 120. So we're shooting 120. We'll do that. Now we just close the camera and wait until it clicks tightly. And now we just advance a few times. The final time when it goes onto frame 1 will be a lot harder. There will be a lot more resistance. That's because you're actually cocking the shutter now. And now the advance lever won't move. We're on shot 1. I'm going to lock the shutter so I don't fire off a shot by accident. Now the camera is fully loaded, ready to go and shoot some memes. So thanks for sticking around to the end of this very brief video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if there's anything else you'd like to see me try or explain, let me know in the comments down below. If you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing or donating to my Patreon, where the tiers start at just €1 per month. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at Shaka1277, link below, for new pictures every single day. Take care and bye bye for now.